Among the developing nations in Southeast Asia, the Philippines stands out as the only country whose economic foundation was never deeply rooted in oil and gas production. Unlike neighboring countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei, which have long leaned on their oil reserves to support their economies and drive growth, the Philippines has followed a different path. It has historically lacked a strong domestic oil and gas industry, making it a unique case in the region. This underdevelopment is most apparent when comparing figures. While the country produces just 9,650 barrels of oil per day, it consumes a staggering 429,000 barrels daily. This stark gap means the Philippines is forced to import most of its fuel needs, making it the largest importer of petroleum products for domestic consumption among ASEAN's 6 nations. This situation raises an obvious question. How can a country surrounded by resource-rich neighbors and located in the same geologically promising region produce so little oil? Strikingly, the Philippines actually has an immense amount of untapped oil resources, estimated at $26.3 trillion, within its 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone. This wealth is believed to lie beneath various parts of its archipelago, particularly in offshore areas. 2 of the most prominent sites are the Reed Bank and Mischief Reef, both situated in the resource-rich yet politically sensitive Spratly Islands. According to research by the U.S. Geological Survey and China's Ministry of Geology and Mineral Resources, the Spratly Islands alone could contain as much as 17.1 billion barrels of oil. To add to that, recent surveys and discoveries in the Sulu Sea, especially in areas within the Celebes Sea, suggest the country could be sitting on even more untapped wealth, possibly surpassing Kuwait's reserves of 13 billion barrels. This revelation is both exciting and frustrating. On one hand, the Philippines could become self-sufficient and even a major oil exporter. On the other, this potential has remained largely unrealized due to long-standing barriers. The economic implications of utilizing these reserves are tremendous. If properly developed, the country would no longer need to rely heavily on imported fuel. This shift could help stabilize fuel prices, ease the burden on consumers, and bring in significant revenue. The Philippine economy could see a major transformation, moving from dependency to energy independence, and possibly emerging as an energy power in the region. The proceeds could fund infrastructure, social programs, education, and job creation, lifting millions out of poverty. Some steps are already underway to revive the sector. One of the key projects is the redevelopment of the Cadlao oil field, which was last active in the early 1990s. Though its estimated 6.2 million barrels of recoverable oil might not dramatically change the country's supply-demand equation, it can make a modest impact by reducing the volume of imports. Production is expected to resume by 2024. Additionally, the Malampaya natural gas project, located about 50 kilometers west of Palawan, has been a cornerstone of the local energy supply. Since its inception, it has produced around 1.9 trillion standard cubic feet of gas and 75 million barrels of natural gas liquids, powering 5 major plants in Luzon with a combined capacity of 3,200 megawatts. However, these reserves are expected to run dry by 2027, prompting redevelopment efforts around the surrounding areas. Several other prospective sites, both inland and offshore, have caught the attention of geologists and investors. Notable areas include Cagayan in the north, Ragay Gulf in the Bicol region, offshore Mindoro, northern Cebu, the New Palawan blocks, and the Cotabato Basin. In 2018, the Department of Energy, in partnership with China International Mining Petroleum Company, discovered an estimated 27.9 million barrels of oil in Alegria, Cebu. Of this, around 3.4 million barrels are considered recoverable. Additionally, the site revealed around 9.4 billion cubic feet of gas, with 6.6 billion cubic feet deemed viable for extraction. One of the country's most promising discoveries lies in the Liguasan Marsh. a massive area spanning 2,200 hectares across Cotabato, Maguindanao, and Sultan Kudarat. This marshland is believed to contain approximately 3.4 trillion cubic feet of natural gas and around 4.8 billion barrels of crude oil. Earlier this year, the Department of Energy approved a proposal by SK Liguasan Oil and Gas Corporation, a Mindanao-based firm, to begin developing a portion of the Cotabato Basin known as Area 9. The significance of this region cannot be overstated, given its potential to become a major energy hub in the southern Philippines. Meanwhile, in the north, attention turned to Benham Rise, located off the coast of Aurora Province. Initially suspected to house petroleum, surveys revealed that while oil wasn't present, the area does offer a wealth of minerals and aquatic resources, including gas hydrates or methane ice. These hydrates form in deep sea or Arctic conditions and are considered highly promising due to their potential to store massive amounts of energy. Some experts argue that gas hydrates could eventually outpace oil, natural gas, and coal combined in total energy value, if harnessed safely and economically. Beyond disputed regions like the Spratlys, there are undisputed areas believed to hold vast petroleum resources, such as the Sulu and Celebes Seas. Despite their enormous potential, the country has been slow to develop these regions, largely due to geopolitical risks, limited infrastructure, and investor hesitation. Many of the most promising reserves, including Reed Bank and Mischief Reef, are located in the contested Spratly Islands, an area that sees overlapping territorial claims from China, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Taiwan, and Brunei. This dispute has created uncertainty, stalling progress, and scaring away potential investment. Nevertheless, the global energy sector has started to take notice. The Hydrocarbons Technology Journal recently identified the Philippines as a top emerging area for oil and gas exploration, alongside Argentina. It pinpointed 4 areas of particular interest within Philippine territory: the Spratly Islands, the Sulu Sea, the Celebes Sea, and the Philippine Sea. A study by a shockmaster in collaboration with IAG Development Consulting identified 2 particularly promising regions, the Sulu Sea and Cotabato, as high-potential petroleum sedimentary basins. According to the Department of Energy, the offshore Sulu Sea Basin could hold up to 203 million barrels of oil equivalent. Meanwhile, the land-based Cotabato Basin is estimated to contain 159 million barrels of potential oil reserves and has already confirmed the presence of 29 billion cubic feet of natural gas. Unlike areas in dispute, these 2 regions lie completely within the Philippines' uncontested borders, making them prime candidates for near-term development. Just last month, the Department of Energy urged the immediate development of Recto Bank, a promising oil and gas area managed by businessman Manny V. Pangilinan. Other regions across the Visayas, Bicol, and northern Luzon are also being eyed for future exploration. The hope is that by strategically developing these safer and more accessible areas, the country can begin building a more stable and reliable energy sector. Overall, the Philippines is sitting on an immense fortune beneath its seas. The estimated $26.3 trillion worth of hydrocarbon resources within its exclusive economic zone represents a powerful opportunity to fast-track economic development, boost energy security, and reduce poverty. Unfortunately, due to years of inactivity, legal uncertainties, and regional conflicts, much of this potential remains locked away. However, there is a growing commitment from the current administration to change that. Plans are being laid out to fully develop the country's natural resources and attract new investment into the upstream oil and gas sector. If successful, these efforts could finally unlock the hidden energy treasure of the Philippines, lighting a path toward national prosperity and a more secure future for all Filipinos.